Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Inside Scoop. I'm Peyton Fender.
What's up, guys? It's Chef Doss. And first off, happy birthday to Peyton. Yesterday was her birthday. So everyone give a big shout out to her and share the show. So how old are you now, Peyton?
22.
All right. Awesome. You're a young one.
Yeah, baby.
That's right. Awesome. So and it is the end of the year. This is our fifth episode, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Wow.
I know, nuts, right? So hold on, I'm sharing the show. Make sure you guys share as well. And we're gonna have some fun talking about our 2023, all the different big things that happen in sport karate, not just to us. We will share our side as well, but also some of our favorite moments, some big stories from the year, and talk about where we're going next year. But first, as we started, we said, of course, it's Peyton's birthday. So what is going on for your birthday? What did you do yesterday and what's going on next week?
So yesterday, I went out to eat with my family and a couple friends, and then we ended up going to a place called the Keg after. It used to be like friggin' Kegler's, like the bowling alley, but they changed it into like a bowling, arcade, axe throwing, a bunch of other stuff. So we went there after that. But next week, we actually go down Saturday. We leave to Miami to go on a cruise for a week. So that's
nice. That's gonna be awesome. That's cool. Who all is going with you there?
It's gonna be me, my parents, and then I think one of my used to be coworker, but he's a really good friend of mine. We're like siblings basically. We grew up together. Right. He'd be going, and then a couple family friends are going as well.
Okay, awesome. That's gonna be fun.
So excited.
Yes, exactly. Especially this time of the year, get away a little bit, right? A little early break. So what is Christmas usually like for you?
So for me, we usually go to I have family in Jacksonville. So like a couple days before Christmas, we'll all drive up to Jacksonville. We'll exchange, gifts, just have some fun. Eat, of course, because that's a family gathering. That's what you usually do at those. And then last year, I think for Christmas, we ended up going to this place called the Rosen Plaza to get food. Okay. So instead of cooking, we went out. And then this year, we went out for Thanksgiving, and then we're going to cook on Christmas. So this year, we'll be home for Christmas.
That's cool. That's good. Yeah. The past few years, I've been home for Christmas. For like 10 years, I was not. At least 10 years, I was not, as I was always traveling to Super Grands. And so it was kind of crazy. So the past few years that I've been home has been really nice. A lot of times we would either do something on Christmas Eve, or we would do Christmas really early, and then so that way I could get on a flight at like noon or 1 to fly to Super Grands on Christmas Day. Wow. And also people don't know my birthday is on Christmas Day as well, right? So so as one of the things people always ask, like, what's it like having a Christmas birthday, but also even like a December birthday, right? Like it's a crazy time of the year. Some people forget about your birthday because they're busy, right? I know for me, I've probably only had one, well, maybe two, like actual birthday parties, okay, in my whole life. All right. One was a surprise party about 10 years ago that my brother did for me. And then I think I remember one as a child. So it's always hard to get something together, right?
Around the holidays and everyone's scattered and you're all trying to get, those gifts that you want before Christmas. Because I know I wait till the last minute to go shopping.
Same here. I'm the exact same way. I'm really bad about that. And my family is the same too. We are my immediate family. We're all last minute. My parents, well, not my parents, my mom and my brother, they're completely opposite. They get everything like super ahead of time. I'm not that way. So
Me either. I ordered my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday was in November. I ordered his birthday present like the week of his birthday.
nice,
Like,
nice.
and it came in I think like the day or two after. So,
I love it. I love it. I love it. So the big joke for me for years, especially from my my sister-in-law, so my brother's wife, was always just she was more excited not to see what everyone got her, but to see how I wrapped all the presents because I'm not a very good present wrapper, but who's worse than that? My dad. So I would always be the one in charge for years of wrapping all the presents. And then I would just kind of get creative, like in the worst way, right? Like I'd still use the bag that it came in when,
yeah.
like from the store, and then just put something Christmassy around it. And yeah, it was bad.
Boxes within boxes.
Yes,
Then I
exactly.
wrap
Exactly.
side and then you put it in a box and then you wrap that box and then you put it in another box and then you wrap that box too. That's what
That's right.
my mom wrap her. I have to wrap. I wrap her presents, my dad's presents, and my grandma's presents. The only presents I don't wrap are mine. So you're gonna get what you get. Box within a box within a box.
I love it. I love it. We share a brain, I think, sometimes. All right. So, did you, of course, I just got back from Toronto. Did you get to see any of the things or watch any action from there?
I watched the junior girls fight because I wanted to I think that was the only fighting I got to watch this weekend. But because what was I doing? I was out like the whole weekend, so I didn't really have a chance to sit down and watch anything. But
Right.
I watched Jada fight, so I got to watch
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because
She fought real well this weekend.
that's like a little sister. So I
Yeah.
went and I was
Yeah.
oh.
She fought awesome this weekend. So it was good to see her really turn on. And,
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is true. Like she really had that determination all the way down to the end. Like she had that drive to finish off the year right. So I was proud to see that of her.
She secured her world title, which is what she was trying to do. So super proud of her.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's awesome. And
Yeah,
a lot of that. Go ahead.
I've been wanting to watch the fights from this weekend. I haven't gotten the chance to sit down and do it. So
Yeah. So there were some, you really think about it. There's a lot of high level fighters up there, right? So you're talking about Katarina, you're talking about Savannah, you're also talking about the girls from Detroit with Lynn and Mina. So you have those four, and then you have a lot of, then you also have Kyla, who was there, and several local competitors from the area, and then ones who just compete throughout the year. So it was a very, very big, competitive, highly competitive tournament. There was a lot of competitors from Mexico as well there. So on the female side, it was really fun to watch. To Kyla, but Savannah always fights Katarina well, but they train together, right? They're always around each other. So that was always a great fight to see. But also seeing Kyla fight Katarina was fun. And, she didn't beat her any, but all the fights were super close the whole weekend, all three of the fights they had. So it was really cool to see.
Kayla's a great fighter. I love watching her fight. I've been watching her fight since I was a junior. So like being now in the division with her, it's one of those things where, hey, like I used to watch you and now I'm fighting with you. So
Right. So, all right. So we are getting into, the end of the year. What were some of the favorite events that you went to this year, and why?
so AKA is always a favorite of mine because, this year, where it was back in its old venue, I think. So where it was at, it was right in the middle. Everything was in the walking distance. The competition is always great because it's the first tournament of the year. Everyone wants to get out there. I think another favorite of mine, regardless of I was sick for Cowboy Up, but Cowboy Up was also a favorite of mine too.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get to make it out there, but I heard a lot of cool things that I definitely want to try to
I do. I like
do that.
as the grands. That's cool.
That is cool. Go ahead.
I think battle's usually one of my favorites. This year, I don't know. It felt off for me this year. I don't know. I don't know why, but battle was just it was off this year. But battle's always a favorite of mine too, though.
Yeah, for me, battle is always one of my favorites. And this year was even more important with the first Korean challenge and just all the different things that I was doing. My first tournament on Team Revolution, and having a lot of my students there, having my son there. It was just a lot of different things. My instructor was there. There was just so many things that made it special. Being able to win on stage at battle, that type of stuff. So that made it one of my favorite events. But yeah, I have to go with you as well on that. AKA it's just something about the first term of the year. I think,
it's crazy.
Yeah. And we had a lot of fun too, like going to eat and all the fun, there's just like, to me, Chicago is a real city. You know what I mean? It's one of the few places that's a real city. And no matter how cold it is, you can still walk anywhere. Like, and honestly, I felt safe, unlike a lot of the other tournaments we've been to this year. So,
very true.
Yeah. So, actually, and of course, that started my whole thing of really knowing, going to dinner with your dad. All right, it's always the fun thing. All right, that was the first time. One of the first things that's how we started the year. So going to how do I forget it? Lou Malnati's.
The Illuminati's.
Yeah, Illuminati's. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see, what was the other? Oh, honestly though, like Toronto was a lot of fun this year. I've never been before, so was cool. Was a good event.
I feel like it always falls like the weekend of my birthday, so I've never been.
Yeah.
But I guess. I mean, I don't know. I want to try a bunch. I want to try new tournaments next year, like ones that I haven't been to. Like I want to go to compete because I've never been to compete.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking about that one too.
And then it would be so cool to go to Quebec Open. I want to go to that one too.
Yeah, I got to get back to that. It's awesome. Yeah, so I haven't been to that tournament since 2001. So and I won on stage, and it was really a cool experience. But being able to see where it's at now and how far it's come, so would be awesome. Brett has a question for you. Peyton, what do you feel was your biggest win this year?
I want to say my biggest win this year for myself was actually Pan Am's, because Pan Am's was my first tournament back after injury. And granted, like open weight didn't go the way I wanted it to, but I ended up pulling the win in the division, and I made leaps and bounds with my confidence, with like taking off and just certain things in fighting that I have been having issues trying to get over, certain obstacles. And so Pan Am's was one of my biggest wins this year, coming back from injury, and just overall I feel like I took a big step forward, like with my fighting in general.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's true. I know for me, one of my favorites to watch you fight at though was Starcade this year.
That was a big win for me too, because
you and Brianna had an awesome fight.
Oh man, that one was between those. It's between those two for sure. Definitely between. I think. Yeah, it was between those two. Those were probably tied for me, because going into like Starcade, Murphy's like, hey, like, you always got to do like a set match for me, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay. So always going into this, I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, and then this year it was different. Like the energy was crazy, and just, I love super fights in general because it's a different type of fighting.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you can't just tap each other. You have to actually like make contact. And I think that's my favorite part of it, is the actual like making contact. Because, sometimes you don't have to make contact in the sport in order to get a point. If it looks like it hit, But I cried after that win. That was a big win for me.
Yeah, that was a fun one to watch. That one definitely it made me see you as a different fighter, like to that next level, you know what I mean? And just showing that heart and that grit and determination, because honestly that weekend a lot of the other female fighters were afraid of Brianna, because she dropped a lot of people that weekend. And that type of fighting, that style, really fits her, right? So it was
Yeah.
really cool to see. So yeah, that was a fun one. What did you say?
I said, I love you, Brianna.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we love you.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
one.
was definitely cool.
Hurricane 24, guys. Everyone should go. Murphy always puts out a
Yes.
great, it's amazing. It's in Brandon, Florida this year, if anyone wants to go.
Oh, okay. It's in Brandon. All right. Awesome. Awesome.
I believe
That's
so.
cool.
I did this year.
Sweet. That's good. That's a change.
Yes.
I feel like I've been to Fort Lauderdale like 4 or 5 times this year. So I'm going to go a
That's
couple of times next year. But
yeah.
so big moments from 2023. You just talked about some of your biggest wins right there. What are some things that kind of stand out just in sport karate, like big news, big things that happen, not just for you, but like as a fan, you know?
So I don't know if I know this has been going around. I think it's going around Facebook, but how they made it to where I think they made it to where you can't do like musical traditional.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that one because like if it fits the musicality of like the division, then I feel like it should be allowed. But I'm also not a musical forms person, so
Right,
it's
right.
entirely I feel.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's
a weird one.
yeah, definitely it's definitely a strange thing that happened. Because like I know a lot of people were complaining about it, and a lot of people liked it. So it's like there's like a mixed feelings thing going on. Me,
Yeah,
if
go
you're
ahead.
formed music, then it's awesome to watch. So I don't know.
Right. So I'll kind of go in. So it's funny because I spend time with people that this over the weekend who were either knew about this or involved with this and their opinion. And what's
Yeah.
funny is that all these people who voted like for a lot of the people who voted for music traditional not to be a musical were
Mhm.
traditionalists. So the funny thing is that and again I understand the side of hey it actually goes with the the music, right, which is important, but at the same time for years so many people fought and fought and fought to split traditional and CMX grand, right,
Uh-huh.
so much, and now the traditional guys are going into the CMX grand. So it's really interesting how that kind of plays. Like the traditional guys fought for so long to be separate so that way it was more fair, and now they're going back in it to go against it. So it's
Yeah.
really kind of a weird thing, right? So I think if you get back and look at that, you got to kind of understand why the rule was made. It's like, wait a minute, we made this so that way it would be fair to you, traditional guys,
Mhm.
right? And now you're wanting to change it. So I
Yeah.
think eventually maybe there will have to be, a rule. Now I was confused with the whole. I heard that they added another element to the rule of like the form has to be 50% fast and like that's interesting how they did that, because
I
from
don't
what
hear
I
about
had heard, it's really technically, I think the reason why they did that is so that way you couldn't just go do a front
that.
flip and then do your traditional form, right?
Yeah.
But again, that for that thing, that kind of makes it to where even tradition, like original musical forms, like the John
Mhm.
Chung forms or the Henry forms, aren't allowed either. If that was the case, so that's
Yeah.
really an interesting point. So I don't know. I feel like you're just really there needs to be criteria, but you can't go that specific to be like, you can't do this form with music. I
Mhm.
don't know. I just feel like no matter what, it's a slippery slope, right?
I
But
know. I don't know, like a rumor or what, but I heard they were splitting like the juniors divisions for Japanese and Korean as well. I don't know
yes,
if that
yeah, yep, that has passed, and that was unanimous and an easy one.
that one
So
I agree with
yeah,
100%.
yeah, it's been needed for a long time, and that was something that NASCA really was behind on, big time, and so it's a good thing.
Because
Def-
I feel like the judging criteria for those two styles is way different.
It is, but both should understand how to judge both.
Exactly.
But the reason why they don't is because they don't see enough Korean forms right now.
Mhm.
And so this at least will be a good step. Of course, the Korean guys we're all going to have a battle still. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy now. We're going to get 100% fairness when it comes to that. But at least more Korean forms are being done. They're understanding how to judge it better, and they're seeing the difficulty in it. So it's just a first step, So
That's been a long time for sure.
yeah, definitely. So one of the big things for me, I think, is that all the pickups with JPM. Of course, that was a big
Mhm.
moment, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean that was huge.
going through, and I was like, and then it was another one.
Yeah. So I mean, and also too to see that happened, and then it wasn't like they waited till diamonds to show up at a tournament. They were like, nope, we're going to Capital Classics now. Let's strike now
Mhm.
while the iron's hot, which I really liked. And honestly, what's funny is that we probably have seen JPM fighters at every event in some way, some capacity this year.
Uh-huh.
So more than ever before, right? So it was really cool to see because again, you had Devin and Katana at Miami. You had a lot of JPM fighters here in Toronto. Not all of them were fighting because they were injured. Like Devin and Alex were injured. Well, Devin's just come back from Waco. He needed to rest. Said, "All right, I'm done." I think Bailey said the same thing. But they were there, and then Katarina was there, and then you also had, the forms guys as well. So they've now that they have those numbers, they have a presence at every tournament.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
it's
There's
huge.
at least one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was huge to me. Um, again, I feel like the Korean challenge, that has been something, of course, that's personal to me, but I think it has made a big statement, which I don't feel like without the Korean challenge, we would have that to where they would split the junior and the Koreans, the junior Korean division, or have a junior Korean
Mhm.
division in 2024. So I feel like those steps really made that happen. As far as teams and stuff, like I feel like, of course, a lot of teams grew and made changes. What are maybe some new teams or that you could think of that made big splashes this year?
Other than like Paul Mitchell. Oh, Maeve getting picked up on K Talk at the beginning, not the beginning of the year, but the middle of the year. That
Yeah.
was another.
Yeah.
Um,
So she's on there. Savannah Wolonoliak now is on
I,
Impacts as well on K-Talk.
I saw a snippet of a video and I thought I saw her in a K Talk uniform, but I
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I think they have some other pickups that are happening as well from this weekend, but I'm
Revolution,
not going to say nothing.
of
Yeah.
course, Revolution, Brianna and Beatrice.
Yes, we've had a big year and a lot of new people, a lot of new faces, with juniors, forms competitors, fighters. So that's been good. For me, there was actually just an announcement today. So a team that started last year, it's local to Detroit area. They're a big Tang Soo Do school, and it was Team PKSA, and they've been showing up in big numbers all year long last year and even more this year. And now they just changed their name to Team 313 to really represent the Detroit area. And so they've had a big year. It's really cool to see these guys that were never done sport karate before. They were part of a big franchise, and they weren't really allowed to compete outside of their own tournaments. Okay, outside of their own Tang Soo Do tournaments, and a lot of these guys have been, starting martial arts since they were 4. They're up at that 3rd degree, 4th degree level, and then they say, sorry, you can't compete past 3rd degree. So they're kind of like, well, what do we do? So they finally got their approval to go start competing in NASCA. And so it's really been cool to see their growth. And, I know several of them have been up there to teach seminars. I teach several private lessons. So it's been really cool to see that growth of that team. So that will be Now they changed their name to 313. All right. So that's a new team as well. We also have Rebellion that has been a great new team. That's been our sister team for Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Prize Fighter, that one is still exciting to see what's next with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's been exciting. They've been picking up people left and right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really pumped to see when's the first time that Zach Tillon will come to the States, because that's going to be an exciting time, because he is an awesome fighter. He was, a lot of you guys in the States may not have seen him, but if you watch the USA versus Europe fight, the men's fight, he was part of that team. His leg is insane. And so it's going to be cool to see that. And just all the craziness that Alex does, and the mascot and everything, the face paint. So
the face paint fun.
Was so who let's see, what are some other things that stand out? Maybe what was one of your favorite fights to watch this year, or maybe team fights, or I know that's always hard.
That is so hard.
And guys, we are probably going to do over the next week or two a end of the year Martial Arts Inter Network show as well, with awards and everything like we did last year. So we will kind of, this is kind of like a prequel to kind of get some ideas for that.
I think one of my favorites, starting with like AKA, this year was when Morgan and Katarina fought for the cup, right?
Yes, yeah, that was huge.
That one was a big one, because like a couple not too long after that is when she got picked up.
Yeah, because she was on Diamond during that.
Yeah. So that was a watch for sure. I'm trying to go through my head because
yeah. So that was a big. I mean, for me too. Like one of the biggest fights, or even like couple of fights, were from that weekend too, and that was Bailey and Avery. Going back and forth and fighting that weekend. And just the steps that Avery did to say, I'm still here. I'm still the top fighter, right? And that was really cool to see on that side. And then just how many people were in that open weight division, and just I just remember sitting there already competing, and past midnight, but still wanting to watch all the fights. So.
And then another awesome one to see was when Lily came back, Lily and Kayla, when they were coming back, because it had been a while since we've seen them. So seeing them come back was pretty cool too. I love watching Lily fight, and Kayla.
Yeah, and for me, I wasn't there at the tournament, but it was a cool moment to see Claire and Lily be able to fight together. That was something like a dream of Lily's that she had asked for. It was, one day I want a team fight with you, and they made that happen. And it was cool getting to talk to David this weekend about how that was a big deal, and how now he's thinking, well, maybe it's my turn. Maybe next year I'll have a tournament that I'm going to fight with one of my students at. So,
awesome.
So it's cool to be able to see moments like that, right? I know for me, I mean, I could do team forms with my students, but what's funny for my students has been more of, hey, I want you to compete against me. And I was like, really? Like, so one of my students who actually showed up at DC, and he's been out of it for a few years, and he was he just got a job in the DC area, and so his last tournament was Super Grands like 2017, 2018, something like that. And so I was just there helping and coordinating. He was like, no, all right, please compete, do creative forms. So I did it, and I came in, and both of us went head to head against each other, and I beat him. And so it was just like a funny thing, just, but some other people were like, why'd you do that to yourself? Like, he wanted, like, you don't understand, like, it was a big deal for him to, to want that. Like, I didn't come with any of my stuff, like I borrowed his uniform, and we kind of went back and forth and actually traded uniforms, with each other. So I didn't even bring a uniform, but even ready to go. So it was just one of those things that, like, that's, one of the important things, like for me, I always push my students that, hey, it's not just, no one's going to give you anything. You have to earn it. Right. And,
Yep.
you know, I compete against my instructor even to this day. You know, he's 67 years old, and he's still like, hey, we're gonna battle for this grand. Yes, sir. You know, and it's the same thing. So, so that's always fun.
Yeah, that's super cool though.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool moment. And then of course diamonds. I mean, for me, just diamonds in general is a tournament that, and I guess I didn't mention on my favorite events, but it really is. I mean, it's just one of those ones that's just it's prestigious, it's special, it's a big deal. And for me personally, I'm always trying to like one up what I did the year before, right, to get to that next level. And so many other people are too. So it's really cool to see, what do people bring out for diamonds? What do
Definitely.
people bring out for the Warrior Cup, you know, and those events, those special events, and then same thing for Battle and US Open, right?
Diamonds,
So,
I was missed Diamonds this year, but Diamonds it was my first time attending last year, but it became one of my favorites very quickly, for sure.
yeah. So, and one thing too, guys, like a lot of tournaments grew this year, which was really cool to see. The numbers were bigger. You know, like Toronto grew like 300 to 400 competitors. Like that's huge.
Wow.
Diamonds was a lot bigger than the year before. You know, a lot of these tournaments, I feel like Battle continues to grow. And so AKA was a lot bigger as well. So it's really cool to see. Quebec Open as well was a huge this year. So I feel like things are looking up, you know, and let's just keep that positivity going in 2024. What's the first tournament? Are you doing AKA? Is that going to be pretty much your first event?
Yep.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. We'll be at most of the same events, most likely. So.
I'll go to compete this year or this coming year. Definitely I'll be at Starcade again. I don't know. I want to try more Waco next year too.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We're I'm interested in doing some different ones, some different more things overseas. I know for me, I'm going to do more traditional Taekwondo events as well. So I'm going to do the AAU again, but also more qualifiers. And may even step into the ITF as well. And then I haven't actually tried a Pro Mac tournament that wasn't like a NASCA AAA. So I may go to like the Memphis Open and a couple of those tournaments. Yeah.
Because of the guitars.
Exactly. So that looks fun. And then yeah, I really want to get to Quebec this year as well, because that's going to be fun. So
yeah. I need to make a list and be like, hey Dad, here's where I want to
go. Yeah, I can't do that no more. So oh man. All right. Well, happy birthday, Peyton. Hope you had a great one and enjoy your trip next week. And man, I'm
you.
Oh, thank you. Happy birthday, Christmas. Yes. Oh man. All right. Well, have a blessed one, guys, and we will see everyone next time. And we will see everyone Monday on Inside Scoop, and we will have a special guest with us as well. So, all right.